What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my Twisted Life with Poetry. I am Poetry. You are here for a random ride to work video because I had some stuff that I just felt like talking to y'all about this morning. But before I do, while I'm still on Wi-Fi, let me show y'all. Remember when I came back and did my Traveling Talk Tuesday and told y'all about my trip to New Orleans? And I said we went down on French Quarter and my mama got smacked in the face with a bag of trash. She posted it on Facebook. That's my mama, and that's that trash hitting her face. And Keena caught the picture. Y'all see that? I'm telling y'all, the spirits was on us. The spirits was on us. Somebody was telling us something wrong. I got to black line and get that line off here. Hopefully my camera don't fall down because the weather, like I said, has been going crazy. It's been getting hot one day and cold the next. And by doing that, my doggone window mount don't want to stay on the window. And I'm not mounting it to the dash because it's too much vibration from the engine. So yeah, there that goes. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and just talk to y'all for a minute. Just give y'all a little reminder that Grown Folks Session shall return this evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If y'all don't know what that is in y'all zip code, y'all time zone, y'all need to look that up yourself. I'm tired of repeating. Y'all should know that shit anyway. Y'all should have learned it back in high school, when the doggone elementary school, when the time zones are. So y'all can know. It's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be posted tonight, Grown Folks Session. We're going to talk about stripping. We're going to talk about stripping. And I'm still gathering my information. But if y'all had anything that y'all want me to throw in there about stripping, y'all got my Twitter. Y'all could DM me. Instagram, y'all could DM me, or y'all could email me at mytwistedlife@gmail.com. It's about the same as the channel name. So yeah, when I came on here, I've been watching people's videos for the past 6 hours. I got up around 2 something this morning, and at 4:20 a.m. I started watching YouTube videos and Twitter videos and Twitter posts because I couldn't go back to sleep. I was like, I could have been writing. I could have been doing something productive, but I wasn't. I was on YouTube catching up on people's videos and everything like that, trying to support the people who I know who have supported me, and then some. I just want to give a big shout out to Lady Nika. If you are not following her channel, make sure you go and do so. She is one of the sisters that I was doing the Spirit Week with, and she's been on the YouTube streets for a long damn time. And it's Lady Nika NYCA. Since I'm driving, I can't put the description in the links down in the description bar yet. I'll do that when I get my butt to work. But yeah, a lot of just stuff was on my mind. A lot of stuff was on my mind, especially in regards to the Emily and Fabulous situation. Oh my gosh, are we gonna beat this with a dead horse? Random ride to work. Y'all know that just be anything. It could be PNTV mixed in with my travel and talk type of topics all together. So that was on my mind. The fact that Commander-in-Chief Zero is sending the National Guard down to the Mexican border. That was on my mind. It's bugging the hell out of me. And what else was going on? The CDC worker. Remember the CDC worker that came up missing? And they weren't able to find his body a few weeks later. Now, yesterday, I believe it was, exactly. They said that they found his body in the... That's not the Chattanooga. Chattanooga is the city in Tennessee. Hachi? And Atlanta River. They found his body in the river. The police right now are saying there's no foul play, that he just apparently just drowned. You don't just apparently just drown. You don't just walk into a river. Something had to be going on. Something more had to be going on. But, you know, they're going to close the case. That's pretty much what they're going to do. They don't, you know, when I always say this, when it's a black person, they will not look deeply. It's just, yeah. He just killed himself, walked to the river, case closed. Just like my girlfriend's son has been missing for about a week. And yeah, police don't care. They're like, he must have ran away from home. Yeah, you know, he's 6 foot tall. He's 16-year-old. You know, he just ran away from home. That's what little black boys do. That's just pretty much how they treat the missing black children in St. Louis. But yeah, the reason why the Commander-in-Chief Zero thing, sending people down to the Coast Guard, the National Guard down to the Mexican border, I haven't really looked deeply into it. I was actually hoping to go to Beautiful Soul channel and let her educate me on it. But I haven't seen her put up a video about it yet because I know she'd be on her dotard vows. So I haven't looked that deeply into it. But it selfishly bothered me only because I'm planning this cruise. And y'all know I asked y'all in one of the videos whether I should go to Cozumel or go to Key West because that's one of the layovers for the trip. And that determines which one I'm going to actually take. Well, we decided nobody gave us any good response. Nobody gave us a response. Now I think about it. So I decided we're going to do the Cozumel one because that'll give my mother 2 international destinations that she can go to. She can go to Key West anytime in the United States without having to pass, but I like to get my mother traveling internationally, and this would get her to at least go see Mexico and Cuba on the same trip. So, but I'm just concerned about whether or not this is going to affect my doggone travels. Sending the Coast Guard down to Mexico, Cozumel is still part of Mexico. And I'm like, what is going on? I know that's selfish of me, and I know there's bigger fish to fry and why this is all happening. But I'm thinking selfishly right now. I'm concerned about my trip. I was talking to Love from Fit to Love Me with Love Fuller channel. If you have not followed her channel, go ahead and find her as well and follow her. She's an American that lives over in Kuwait. She's originally from the ATL area. But she does a lot of traveling as well. And I asked her, I was like, I just want to know in her experience, because I haven't been out the country in a minute, how has people in other countries received her as a Black American traveling with this Commander-in-Chief in office? And she was like, pretty much they still treating us the same way, which, when they look at us and see Americans, they be like, I think most Black people sometimes get a pass though, because we be Black Americans and they know we disenfranchised, so we don't get as much bad brunt. But America don't have a good rap as far as tourists go. They seem to leave Black women alone. But because I usually travel internationally, either alone or with maybe one friend, I got something wrong with my lip. I feel it. I was eating some granola and it might get stuck into my lip gloss. Okay, so I was really concerned about like, what's the reception? Because I don't want to be going out to another country and then be hit with this mass hate for American tourists. I just didn't want to feel that way. So, I mean, if y'all travel, y'all been traveling out internationally ever since this motherfucker got in office, y'all let me know how y'all have been received, whether you Black, white, otherwise. I want to know exactly how are American tourists being received in these other countries in light of this thing being in office. Like I said, the last time I was traveling and I had a real bad experience as an American traveler, there was an issue where they, when they start making us have passports to travel internationally, you used to have to have a passport to travel internationally. You could just travel on your birth certificate, especially to a lot of places. Now you have to have a passport to almost everywhere. So yeah, we got stuck coming back into the country because they was like, this stuff going on with America, shut them down, So I was just concerned about that. So yeah, I know that's selfish. It's not really dealing with what the whole border patrol thing is about, but that was just my selfish thing that I was concerned with. The other thing I was talking about, I was concerned with was the Emily B. and Fabulous situation. I saw that people were dragging the shit out of Little Mo for defending Fabulous. Sometimes when people in situations happen, you get their friends, family members, or whatever coming out saying, that's not the person I know. They would never do something like that. And I know on my last video, I was saying that, Emily B needs to get out of that situation. She really does. And I was praying for her strength to get out of that situation. And it's not that we were not, as far as I'm concerned, it's not that I wasn't taking accountability or putting accountability on Fabulous. It was the simple fact that after you've been in a situation for so long and been done for so long, at some point you need to take a look at yourself and say, what do I need to do to get out of this situation? Because you can't necessarily control how the other person is going to be towards you. You can hope, you can demand, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. And when you see that it's not happening, it's up to you to start making steps to get yourself out of that situation. But that's not even my point. My point was like the fact that Little Mo is defending him, and people are like going in on her, like people was defending Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe he did it. They used to put him up, man. He's Cliff Hustable. He couldn't possibly have raped a woman or some shit like that. It just resonated with me to the point that I was like, you probably feel that way. Oh, he was not that type of person until he is. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just gonna go for me from experience. I don't know if it's gonna be a really little story time. I was in love with this guy, crazily in love with this guy, to the point that my daughter Keena is named after him. Keena's not even named after her own father. She's named after this man that I was in love with for a long fucking time. Dude, to me, was the world. He could do no wrong. He could do no wrong. When we met, he was in the military. He got arrested for murder. In my mind, I justified that bullshit because I was like, they deserved it. Or not that necessarily they deserved it, but it was payback. Because he was a blood. He was born and raised in Inglewood. You know, that's the life he grew up in. He was a blood. And so this was like gang retaliations. And even though he joined the military, we weren't stationed that far from where he lived. And even though you get to the military doesn't stop your life. It doesn't change who you were as a person before you came in there. And sometimes it just helps you hide it better. But in this particular time, he killed the person. He went and shot up their whole doggone house in retaliation to some shit that they said to him. Not even did to him, just said to him. And I justified it in my mind like it was revenge. It was payback. That's what happened. That's the code of the streets. You jump bad at somebody, you talk shit, you talk smack, you get what? You get got. So that's how my mind was living, right? I still love this dirty draws. Even though he was in jail. But y'all know I'm not a jail-based person. Told y'all that. I'm not a jail-based person. So when he was in jail, my life went on. I got married and all this, that, and the third. And no, the dude I married ain't Keena daddy either. I can tell y'all that on another story time too. So, yeah. Once I got out of, not out of the military, I had moved to Japan. I went to Africa, moved to Japan, and I moved back to California. And he was out of jail. The crazy thing was, like, my mama, I had moved her out there with me, and she was working on the base. And she came home telling me about this fine dude driving this red Mustang 5.0 on the base, And then she saw him again, what she would say, doing everything to him. She knew he wasn't in the military, he was just on the base visiting or what have you. And she was going to holler at him, and I kept saying, that's Keno. I just knew it was him. I said, that's Keno. And somehow me and him got in contact, and he came to the house and surprised me, and we kicked our relationship off again. Knowing he had murdered somebody just years before. You know, I was still in love with him, still crazy in love with him. Now, me and him had planned on having a baby together. Our first kid was going to be with each other, no matter what was going on, where we was in the world. Our first kid was going to be with each other. Well, after I got out the military, I came back home. And I got pregnant with Keena like 2 years after I came back home. And I had to call him up and tell him, look, I'm pregnant by somebody whose baby ain't yours. Because this was supposed to be, our first kid was supposed to be together. That's how she ended up with the name Keena. Because I named it after him. And he was like, pissed off at me, baby. Pissed. But at the same time, he had a girl pregnant too. He was going off with, the thing was that it was his ex-girlfriend, or the girl that, when we reconnected, the girl he was seeing at that time, it was her brother had died or some shit like that, and he went to comfort her, so her, and his dick fell in her pussy. That's the type of story. And I just went with that, you know, because I was loving this nigga. I was loving him. Well, like I said, all through our relationship, he was so loving and so kind to me. Outside of me, he was crazy as that one thing. He would beat the fuck up out of you. I think I got my road rage from him, being with him, because he was the type of person that if we driving down the street and you cut him off, he would follow your ass to work, to your house if you don't go to work, and I would be right there with him. I was his ride or die. That's how I was. And so it might have been like a learned behavior that I haven't been able to shake. It's a bad habit I can't break. little shit pisses me off, and I realize that I act like Keno sometimes. So over the years, I used to always tell any guy that I ever dated after him that if he ever came back into my life, that they could hang it up, because I was going to always go back to him. He was always my number one. I used to always tell him that, without a doubt. If he walked back into my life today, I would hang it up and I would get back in. That's what I used to tell people. So I used to always do Google searches on him, because like I said, when I told him I was pregnant with Keena, he was mad, baby. He was hotter than fish grease, to the point that he stopped speaking to me. And I used to find out information from him through his friends, until he threatened his friends, saying don't tell her shit about me, this, that, and other. So I was just Google searching to see if I could find his name and information on him and everything. And then I found an article on him saying that he had kidnapped his ex-wife. It was the girl that he ended up marrying after I left California. He actually started dating her before I left California. It was one of the reasons why I finally said, fuck it, I'm leaving California, because he started seeing somebody else while he was seeing me, and yeah, it was crazy. So anyway, but he ended up marrying her, and he had kidnapped her, and he kidnapped her more than once, and tortured this girl, and then ended up killing her. And when I was reading, I was like, no, that's not my Keno. I'm reading the articles like, that ain't him. That ain't the man I know. He was the man I knew. He just, even though he didn't do it to me, he was still that person. So, for even though like Lil Mo was sitting there saying about Fabulous, oh, that ain't the man I know. He's still that man. He's still that man. Because he ain't beat your ass or punch your teeth out doesn't mean he's not that man. You don't know what the fuck he doing to other people. He's that man. That's my whole point of this story time. Like, he was that man. And like, the craziest thing about this, about Keno, was that every date, something clicked in his head. Every date that something he did to that woman corresponded with us. Like, the date that I told him that I was pregnant with Kena is the first day he kidnapped that girl. Actually, the date that I told him I was leaving California, the following year is, on that exact date, is the date that he married that girl. But the date that I told him that I was pregnant with Keena is the first time he kidnapped her. The day Keena was born was the day he killed that girl. And that could have very well been me. If I had stayed in California, if I had stuck around, you know, if I hadn't, and I didn't have the sense enough to walk away from the relationship, because I didn't think he was crazy. I didn't think that nothing was wrong with him, because he was so good to me, at least then. Something, my God, helped me get out of that situation. My God said, you need to go back to St. Louis. Your aunt needs you. And I got back to St. Louis, my aunt was fine. And I've been here all this time. And I don't know, I was just feeling something one day. I had a dream. And I had a dream about him. And the day I had a dream about him is when I Googled his name and I pulled up that news article. That's like a whole big new law written in California in regards to him. His name is Curtis Harris. Y'all can look it up. He had kidnapped. The courts let him go. They couldn't understand why the courts had let him out of jail. He wasn't supposed to be out of jail. When he got released, he kidnapped her again, held her in a hotel, held her for bond, and then he ended up killing this girl. And I think Monique was her name. She kept saying that she had a lot of he had a lot of abandonment issues. One, he thought I abandoned him. I don't know what would happen if I ever came back to his life, because he thought I abandoned him. And so when she finally got fed up and decided that she was going to walk away from that situation, I think he didn't know how to take that shit. And that was his way of reacting out to her. And so, like, people are never who they are until they are. You know what I'm saying? You never say that they not that person until they actually are that person. Anything can click. Like with the YouTube shooter girl. Anything can click to make them that person on that day. They may not have been that person yesterday, but they're that person today. And it's hard for some women to walk away. Like I said, she may fear for her life. Emily might be fearing for her life. Like I said, when she focused on just the guns, I was like, something is not right with that situation. And she's so worried about the guns, but she is going back to it, man. She is afraid for her life. I'm not going to say allegedly. She is afraid for her fucking life, y'all. I'm just telling y'all. I'm at work. I just had to get this shit off my chest. I was thinking about that this morning. I need to get that off my chest. Hope y'all make it back to grown folks session tonight. Is the grown folks session. I will be announcing the release of both of my books. Oh, my second book is called Regrets. It has to do with an abusive wife who has to like fight for her life pretty much as well. That's gonna be coming out soon too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking. Y'all just share y'all thoughts on what I said. Y'all, even if y'all want to comment on my story time about the guy and how caught up I was in him, that even after I knew he had murdered somebody in cold blood and went to jail for it, and I was still so love crazed and love sick that, because I thought that he treated me like a queen of the world until he didn't, until he decided to start seeing somebody else. And his justification for seeing somebody else while he was seeing me was that when he was in jail, I didn't stand there with him. I didn't stay with him. You know, you never know. Okay, y'all. That's my random ride to work. I guess kind of story time. I got a little bit more of my life. Y'all have a good day. See y'all tonight. I still have to put Black Lightning up. I have not watched it yet, y'all. I have not watched this episode. That has to go up today. It has to go up. And then grown folks tonight. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, peace.